Hey everyone, how are we doing? My name is Tim Pongras and this is Focus on Detailing. Today's video is all about 10 essential items that you will need to help you with your detailing venture. A lot of the things that are going to be listed are going to be blatantly obvious for those that are already in the know, but it's directed more so for people that are looking to get into detailing or starting their own business. Much like my how to start a detailing business video, there's going to be a lot of talking in this one as well. I'm going to be giving my personal opinion as to what I think are some essential items that will help you become a successful detailer or to have a successful business. When I say a successful business, these won't automatically make you successful if you gather them all up, but they certainly do help prepare you to become a successful detailer. They're going to be placed in no particular order of importance as they're all important. I'm going to avoid delving into actual products like compounds, polishes, waxes, sealants, whatever, as that video would just go for too long, and realistically they deserve a video of their own. So without further ado, let's get straight into this one.
Chances are, if you think you have enough microfiber towels, you probably need more. During most detailing processes, you'll find you'd be using a variety of types. And what you don't want is when you're working through a particular job, you're lacking the resources. A lot of the time, this would be MF towels. It's important to have a collection of them, some of those being dedicated to glass cleaning, buffing, interior, waffle weave, drying, and all-purpose. The all-purpose or multi-purpose towels I find myself using for the extra dirty work, like in and around the door jambs. They're the ones you don't mind getting dirty, and if you got them too soiled, you wouldn't miss them if you threw them out. Usually what separates towels from each other is their GSM, grams per square meter. This plays a major role with where and how they're used. When it comes to wash mitts, it's a good idea to have one of quality, as you'd find yourself using it for almost every time you're detailing a car. And it's also wise to look after it, as it's in contact with the paint. With avoiding swirls, great soaps are vital, but a plush wash mitt that can lift away the dirt, further reducing the chance of installing defects, is key too. Applicator pads are pretty simple. You have your appropriate ones for your appropriate tasks. I'm not really too fussy, but I usually would have some for the tyres, plastics, wax application, leather, and vinyl. They're prone to getting dirty with some jobs, so just avoid getting them mixed up too much. A pressure washer was one of the first things I had when starting detailing. And although you can get away with just using a hose, a pressure washer opens up to easier cleaning through being more thorough and using new tools like the foam cannon. I say it makes life easier, as just try to clean a four-wheel drive with caked on mud with a garden hose. It's not fun. You'd usually be looking at around $200 for an entry-level one, but of course you have multiple choices that vary across the spectrum. I have continually used Gurney and think they're a great option, but there's certainly many out there to choose from that can give you superior quality, pressure, and attachments. From petrol to electric, it really comes down to how much you want to spend and what jobs you see yourself undertaking. I'd just say don't go all out though when first starting with a pressure washer, unless you can justify it, as there's simply no need to spend mega bucks if you don't need to. There's plenty of foam cannons out there to choose from, and I'd believe you'd be right with buying any of the top name ones. I'm still using my Foam E. They're usually around the $100 mark, give or take. It's up for debate with foam cannons, as some detailers don't see a use for them, but I do believe they provide for a safer wash by foaming up over the car, helping to emulsify and loosen mess. From wheels, interior, engine bay, leather, fabric, it's also a good idea to have a few ready for different stages of the cleaning process. This would include wheel woolies, drill brushes, and rubber brushes for fur removal. Much like the wash mitt, I use my wheel woolies constantly, so I'd say they're a vital investment. Drill brushes, or brushes you can attach to your DA polisher, are massive time savers, and rubber brushes for fur removal are lifesavers. What differentiates your brushes is usually how dirty they'll likely be getting and the firmness thickness of the bristles. Keep them separate from the inside and out as well as the engine bay. Having some varying in size is really helpful for touching up the interior too, whether that be brushing a surface down or working in an APC. They're used constantly. This is a pretty simple one. I like to have my 3 buckets for the exterior. One for the washing that holds the car soap, another for the rinsing of the wash mitt filled with clean water, and lastly, my wheels bucket. Basic items, but couldn't detail without them. Setting aside $100 for all 3, give or take, should cover it. Getting sturdier buckets with lids and wheels is also a good investment too. Can't forget though to purchase some grit guards along with them. Most of the time when buying detailing bucket setups, the grit guards would come with them. Going into an interior detail without a vacuum is like skydiving without a parachute. Both aren't overly enjoyable to undertake. Most vacuums have a variety of attachments, but you'll likely find yourself using the long nozzle one the most to reach into the tighter spots. Most customers expect general interior cleans, and they can likely vacuum their car themselves, so you need to show and provide a superior job than what they can do. Doesn't mean you need one that has the same vacuum abilities of Space, just as long as it can remove mess from the seats, carpets and other surfaces throughout, after a thorough going over. I'll also include having a shampooer and or wet vac in this. Though not essential, it does make life easier and will likely help you score a lot more work. I went out and purchased a pneumatic George, and it was a fantastic decision to spend that little bit more on a shampooing machine, as the suction is great, helping to reduce the waiting time of seats drying. Polishing cars by hand is a thing of the past now with new, safe paint correcting options. You'll find what most detailers use now is dual action polishers. They're called this due to their ability to spin in a circular motion around its axle while simultaneously oscillating as well, helping to disperse heat and increase work area. The motion is like that of hand polishing without the sore arm, working much faster with superior results. A rotary is also an option, but not preferred for beginners. Putting it simply, it's not as user friendly. It spins in one direct motion, which increases heat and the chance of damaging the paintwork, although it does cut down the work time. It's a great idea to have more than one polisher, having a few varying in size so you have options and you can find the best one whether you're working in tight and confined areas of the car or big open flat panels. Many detailers will give their opinion as to what they think is the best, and 100% there are ones that stand out, for example Rupes. Superior quality, longer throw and smoother motions. If you can afford to go to the very best when starting out, fantastic. But if you can't, there's certainly other options perfectly suited to the beginner or that are more affordable, such as ShineMate or Griots. Obviously when buying a polisher you need the pads. Sometimes you can purchase them in a set with the polisher, which is a good idea. But there's still plenty of sites and stores that sell a variety of pads from microfiber to foam to choose from. It's always wise to have a broad selection of pads from cutting to finishing, as every car you work on can be different from the last and you don't want to be unprepared. I'll go with my polishers to set a price with pads, and that'd be a good $2,000 set aside. Without a doubt, the best possible lighting you can get is none other than from the sun. There's no hiding detailing mistakes from it, and as they say, the sun doesn't lie. After finishing correction work, the best thing you can do is pull it out into the direct light and have a good look over your work before moving on to the protecting stages. But during the correcting processes, having artificial light is really handy for finding if you're achieving the results that you desire. Having the lights on a stand is a great option for while you work to broadly illuminate your work area, but having a torch at the ready is smart too. Waving it over on a wide variety of angles to make sure you haven't missed buffing off any residue or seeing if you're disposing of those nasty paint defects. You'd be surprised just how often you'd need one. I would take a stab in the dark and say around $300 is good to set aside for lighting. Having an air compressor may not have been everyone's choice in the top 10, but I have to say, I use mine with every interior detail, so it's a must on mine. It makes short work of clearing out really hard to read spots like down in beside the seats, footwells, seals and vents, blowing out the mess to later be vacuumed up. You can get an attachment for an air compressor called the Tornado. It saves so much time, being able to draw out mess, easily cleaning carpets, seats, mats, headliners, and just about every surface throughout the interior, as it belts out that compressed air mixed in with a bit of liquid. Tough to say how much an air compressor will set you back, but I recently purchased one for $300 called Black Ridge, so we'll use that. Covering up covers all bases of protecting both yourself and the vehicle you're working on. So gloves, mask, and if you want to go all out, glasses. Gloves are the most commonly used though, helping to resist chemicals from damaging your skin and drying them out. When working, you'll be in contact with a variety of products that can strip oils and damage your skin, as well as working with potentially some pretty nasty interiors where you don't know what you could be touching. So it's good practice to slap on a pair of gloves when working at any stage of the car cleaning process. Don't forget about the mask too though, as some of the fumes from chemicals or dusting from compounds aren't all that kind on your lungs either. Having shade for your car is really important too. We don't always have sealed dustproof conditioned rooms, although we probably wish we did. It's not the end of the world though, as you can purchase simple marquees that provide an adequate amount of shade, and when working on a car during the hotter periods, it will be really helpful. I'd say around $200 for a marquee, give or take, or you could go and spend $50,000 plus for a sealed workshop. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had a steam cleaner to assist me for all that long in my detailing venture, but I wish I did. It is amazing to assist in lifting stains and breaking down hard baked on or sticky mess, mostly through the interior of a car. It saves the use of chemicals and also aids in sanitizing, which during this time is pretty helpful. It's a basic machine but can assist in some challenging tasks. It's also fantastic for leather, helping with opening the pores for a deeper and easier clean. Of course, it's not just for the inside of a car, as quite a few detailers use it for cleaning the engine bay, and in and around the wheels as well as calipers. It's a great item to have, and I regret not purchasing one earlier. Like most listed machines on today's video, they can range dramatically when it comes to price. There's your industrial grade and your entry level, like the more affordable Karcher models. I paid around $245 for my SC2, so I'll go with that. It can be a pricey exercise purchasing what you need to start detailing, but it doesn't have to be. There's no rule saying you need to spend big dollars on the best of the best when you can still get access to fantastic equipment for half the cost. Just remember, don't get your abilities caught up with your ambitions. Start small and build up. Don't overcompensate for customers you might not yet have, but still have the right tools and supplies to be prepared. I hope this video is helpful for beginners and or those wanting to get into detailing. I'm more than happy to answer any questions to the best of my abilities that you throw my way in the comment section. I think that'll do for this one. If you feel that I've missed something that should be on the list, as I'm sure there's plenty of others that could be, don't be scared to add it in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.